So just a comparison of two Mazda turbo engines, the Mazda 323 GTX, the BPT turbo engine, and the Mazda 323 GTR with the BPD engine. So the piston and the connecting rod assembly here at the left is from the Mazda BPT turbo engine with 180 horsepower. And here on the right side is from the Mazda 323 GTR with 210 horsepower engine, a rally spec version of the BP turbo engine. As you'll see, side by side the connecting rod. You'll see the bigger connecting rod here at the right side from the 323 GTR, and you'll see the connecting rod comparing the two. The one here at the left is from the BPT and the one on the right is from the BPD. This one is just dirty, not cleaned yet. As you'll see, the one on the right from the GTR engine with 210 horsepower is beefier to handle more boost. There's a factory paint here. It's not here anymore, but there's a line here, a line of paint. And also at the connecting rod cap, there's originally a white paint here, aside from the connecting rod here. And for the piston here from the BPT is just an ordinary piston with lower compression. And the one here at the right, just dirty here, the GTR piston with 210 horsepower. It has cooling channels. You'll see there's a hole, this one here and this one here. So the oil jet, so every time the piston goes down the bore, the oil jet aligns to this hole here, squirting oil to this cooling channel here, and oil will go out to this hole here. Unlike the ordinary BPT piston, there's no cooling channel. As you'll see, there's no hole for the oil jet, except of course this one for the pin, for the piston pin. And the piston of the 323 GTR is made by Izumi, as you'll see, and it's called high cast. So it's still a cast piston, not a forged one, but maybe a high quality cast piston. So for the compression, without measuring it, just by looking at the dish, it looks like of the same compression. So comparing the two pistons here, it looks the same. Also here, comparing on this side, the position of the rings, for the top ring, the second ring, and the oil control rings, they are all of the same distance. They did not vary, they did not change. They are also of the same full float pin. And also, the difference between the GTX 180 horsepower and the 323 GTR 210 horsepower piston, as you'll see, the piston skirt is shorter for the 323 GTR engine, the BPD engine, to reduce friction. And by the way, the connecting rod of the BPT is just of the same size of the BPNA. I already discovered that a long time ago, opening a lot of BP engines from Japan. I noticed that the connecting rod of the BPT and the BPNA are just the same, except of course the piston. The BPT having a lower compression piston than the BPNA. Also with regards to the oil jet, as you'll see here, or what you call the oil squirter at the bottom of the engine block to squirt engine oil at the bottom of the piston. As you'll see here, the one on the right is from the BPD 323 GTR engine with 210 horsepower. As you'll see, it's longer compared to the BPT. I'm sure the one here on the left from the BPT is just the same with the ordinary BPNA engine. But the one here on the right from the 323 GTR is longer because it needs to reach the oil galleries, the cooling channel I mean. So you'll see it's positioned like this. So every time the piston goes down to bottom dead center, this oil jet will align to this hole here. Just like that. And there's a hollow part here, so that oil will go to this oil channel here and goes out, and it will drain out here to this hole here. Using the ordinary oil jet, as you'll see, the shorter oil jet will not force all the oil to the oil cooling channel. But this one here is of sufficient reach, as you'll see. So if you're going to use aside from being rare already, if you're going to use the BPD GTR piston, you'll also be needing the oil jet from the 323 GTR. So that's all for now. So as you'll see here from the manuals of my 323 GTR, the layout of the new design for the 323 GTR engine, the BPD engine, it says that the piston skirt is shortened to reduce weight and friction. So it's not just friction, but also to reduce weight. The cast iron ring carrier is installed in the piston to reduce piston ring groove wear. So as you'll see here, there's the cooling channel. This is the cooling channel, the dark area. It says oil inlet. Then oil will go around the cooling channel, and oil outlet, it will drain the oil out here. It also says here, a cast iron ring carrier is installed in the piston to reduce piston ring groove wear. So even if the piston is aluminum, there's a cast iron ring carrier. There it says ring carrier. It's made of cast iron, integrated within the aluminum piston. So this darkened area is made of cast iron. The undarkened area, the whole piston, the rest of the piston is made of aluminum. And this says here, the cooling channel, this part here is integrated to this ring carrier to reduce piston ring groove wear. So because of the oil cooling channel within this piston, it reduces the piston ring groove wear because of the integrated cast iron ring carrier. And the third thing here is a cooling channel is incorporated in the body of the piston. The oil jet squirts oil into the cooling channel, and the oil absorbs the heat from around the ring lands, reducing piston ring and cylinder wall wear. So the cooling channel helps cool down the piston. For the connecting rod, this is the paint that I told you a while ago. A white paint here and also here at the rod cap. It says that the connecting rod beam is widened for increased strength. Connecting rod and cap are marked with white paint for identification. So that's all.